What's up everyone, my name is Marvin and today I'm doing a review of the Ken Smith 6-string bass. I'm not exactly sure which model this is. It seems like it's the BSR. I actually emailed the company to see if I can get some information on the bass, and it just seemed like they didn't really want to tell me anything. It just seemed kind of off-putting. They didn't tell me the model or anything, but that's okay. It looks like the bass is on their website, so I'm going to assume it's a BSR. They did give me the specs. It's a 34-inch scale, obviously 6-string bass. The body wood is made of maple and walnut, and the fretboard wood is Murado. The neck is maple, probably 3-piece because it looks like 3 pieces in there. It's got an 18-volt preamp, which has bass, mid, and treble, boost and cut, balancer, volume, 2 in-house Ken Smith pickups, which actually sound really good. And yeah. So here's a little backstory to why I have this bass. So this bass belongs to one of my friend's brother, who unfortunately passed away. I'm assuming that they were going through this gentleman's things and they found this bass. He gave it to his brother to see if he could fix it up because he's a musician, he's a drummer. He gave it to me and asked me if I could clean it up. I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea who Ken Smith was. I had never heard of the company, which is kind of crazy because I play bass. I'm not so deep in the bass world as I am guitar, so please bear with me. Don't judge me. This is important because when I took the bass out of the bag, I had no idea what to expect because my friend didn't even know what brand it was. Just my initial inspection, it was dirty, there was rust on the frets and a little bit of corrosion, and you know, it needed some love. It needed a good cleaning and setup and everything. But even with all that, picking it up, feeling it, and just looking at it, there's just a feeling of high quality. I had no idea that these basses are in like the $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 range. I had, again, never heard of the company, but when I picked it up out of the bag and I was just looking at it, it just felt really well made. And I was like, wow, I've never heard of Smith because all I saw up here was Smith, you know, on the headstock. And I was just like, wow, this is interesting. I've never heard of this, but it looks so nice. I remember the first thing that I noticed was the weight, where it's got weight, but it's super comfortable. It's like this satin smooth finish where it's not satin like a regular satin guitar where if you rub it too much, it gets shiny. It's almost like a natural grain satinish finish. I don't know how to explain it, but it's super comfortable. It just, I don't know, it's just really well thought out. And it's really cool because when I was inspecting it, I had a feeling that this was a very valuable instrument because everything seemed to be in-made, but with really good quality. The tuners, for example, have Smith on the back. The pickups have Smith. Even the bridge says Made in USA, Smith. Even when I opened the control cavity to make sure it was clean and everything, the way that they wired it, it was just next level. Like everything was so perfectly spaced out and just cut, and it's just very high quality. And luckily, I was able to restore it into really good condition because again, these frets were pretty badly rusted. I don't know if it was rust or corrosion, but there was a lot of stuff on it. It took me a while to clean them up. One of the batteries inside also had corroded and got stuck on the battery attachment. Luckily it came off easily, but the biggest issue I had getting it all set up, the truss rod nut had some corrosion. And I'm not knocking Smith for this. I think that this bass was just stored improperly. The bag also showed that there was some type of liquid or water or humidity, and you know, that happens. I ended up getting a truss rod gripper wrench from StewMac. Shout out to StewMac. Not sponsored, but just had to say, that wrench saved this bass because it just needed the tiniest adjustment to get it going. I used the wrench, so good. But I say all that to say that even in those unfavorable conditions, because I don't know how long the bass was sitting, this bass, once restored, still plays like a dream. This is definitely one of the best basses I've ever played. Keep in mind, I am not a 6-string bass player. When my friend asked me to clean it up and he told me it was a 6-string bass, I was a little off-put because I'm not one of those fancy-pantsy bassists that use every single string and note and do all those chords and tapping. No, I can't do that. But I was still intrigued because it was something I've never tried, so I went for it, and I'm really glad that I did because this was just a really special instrument. So I'm going to show you some sound demos I did through my Mesa Prodigy. I have it just running straight into my 2 notes torpedo, and I'm using the Fat Mama cab, you know, free, basic. I don't know what it's supposed to sound like, but it sounds good, so whatever. I tried playing around with the EQ so you can hear different variations of the tone. This EQ with these pickups and the 6 strings, I mean, you can get any sound out of this bass. And if you make it sound bad, it's completely and totally your fault. Because this bass sounds amazing. In all the settings that I tried, it just, I don't know what it is. It just seems all thought out perfectly. Even the frequency responses on the basement and treble seem to be set at a really good point. The treble doesn't get all like high and hissy and annoying. The mids seem to just give you that extra bit of punch. And the bass, actually, you gotta be really careful. If you put too much, it'll overdrive an amp really quick, because my Prodigy was overdriving very quickly. If you boost it up, you just gotta play a little lighter, and you just find a way to make it work. But it works, and it's such a good bass. Nonetheless, let me stop talking. You can listen to the clips, and I'll tell you my final thoughts in the end. Okay, so my final thoughts on this Ken Smith 6-string bass. I mean, it's a 4,000, 5,000, I don't know how much. It's around the 5,000s. It's what I saw when I was looking online. Absolutely amazing. It plays like a expensive instrument, very high quality, just, it's hard to explain. Would I personally pay $5,000 for this bass? Probably not. And the only reason I say that is because I don't really have $5,000 for one instrument. I'm not saying that it's not worth it, but it's just a lot of investment. Like if I was gonna spend that much on one instrument, it has to be perfect. And this is perfect, but even then it's like, I can't imagine myself paying that much. I can understand why people do it though, because the level of craftsmanship and detail and just overall, like, it's just such a good instrument. This is the type of thing that you buy with that kind of money where you know nothing is going to be wrong with it. It's going to be perfectly, you know, playable and stuff. And it sucks because I haven't gotten to play this brand new, so I can't speak for quality control, but I'm going to assume, based off of everything I found online when I was researching this bass, it's top of the line. Even when I found it in its condition where it really needed some love, I still could feel the top of the line quality. And it sounds great. It looks great. I mean, I just love all the little attention to detail. Like you could see how the stripe in the middle of the body lines up with the neck. And then there's even a stripe in the middle of the body. So it's like, I don't know, everything about it is just so nice. Even the volute back here has this little detail. It looks almost like, I don't know, just like a medieval weapon. I don't know. But it's really nice. If you're able to afford it, why not? You might as well splurge. I don't know if I would do it, but I do really, really like this bass. And I'm saying this as someone that's never played a 6-string bass. This single-handedly has made me consider a 6-string. Am I gonna get one? I don't know, because I kind of want to get one like this if I go and buy one, because it's just so good. And even though this neck looks like a baseball bat, it's actually fairly comfortable as a 6-string bass. Like I was able to play effortlessly, and it doesn't really make sense, but it makes sense. The neck is rather flat, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just contours really nicely. And if you've played a 5-string bass, you should feel right at home playing this. So I don't think you'll have any issues, but definitely try before you buy it if you're able to. So those are my final thoughts. I think it's definitely worth playing and trying, and if you have the money, I don't see why not. I wouldn't judge you for spending that much. I don't know if I would do it, but if I were to get a 6-string bass, I think I would consider getting one like this, because this thing plays so well and it sounds fantastic. Like I really, really like it. Anywho, that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Please leave a like if you did. Leave a comment on what you think about this bass. If you have a Ken Smith bass of your own, or any bass in this price range that you think is better or worse, or I don't know, just leave comments. Subscribe if you like more content. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, have a great day. I love instruments that look like tables. This looks like a table.